Hello and welcome to our weekly live Q&A. How is everyone doing this evening? Please say hello to us in the comments. If you happen to watch the replay, do hashtag replay. So as always, let's start with our weekly announcement. So in case you don't know, we're having a challenge right here inside the group starting on June 21st. This challenge is prospecting to profit, how to get your next client in the next 5 days. So I want you to make sure you're fully engaged, and you will have to register in order to get the worksheets that accompanies the video that will be right here inside of the group. Also, I want you to invite other parallelpreneurs to this community so we can make sure this is the #1 place for parallelpreneurs to hang out online. Also, if you are struggling in the area of clarity around who you serve and how you serve them, whether it's confidence in your selling skills or your systems, then you need to apply to have a chat with me so we can see what is your next best step, so we can continue to move you forward in your businesses that you're building as God is your CEO. So without further ado, we have Miss Leslie Cristea tonight as our member spotlight. For those who don't know, Leslie and I have been business besties for many, many years. We met through a class that we took from an online coach, and we have been holding each other's feet to the fire ever since. So I'm super excited to welcome her into this community so you can learn all about the great things that she has to offer and how she can support you in love and in real estate. So Miss Leslie Cristea.
Hey.
Hi, Leslie. Tell us a little bit more about you, as well as you, business-wise and personally.
Okay, which do I do first?
Introduce yourself, Leslie.
Alrighty, I am Leslie Cristea, aka your coach for real. That's real estate in love, providing
However God leads you, hon.
providing real solutions after you say I do. And so what does that mean? That means that on one hand, I am a relationship restoration and communication coach, and I help Christian women who think their marriage is beyond repair love and communicate better while focusing on themselves so that they can transform their relationship and save their marriage. And on the other hand, I'm a real estate agent in the state of Virginia. So together, I help increase those smiling faces with improved relationships and comfortable spaces.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about how you help those Christian women that's looking to save their marriage and they may be fighting alone in this particular season.
Well, on a broad spectrum, it's basically I help them through education, communication, and faith. And so education is because of the fact that we are educated in every other aspect of our lives, especially career goals. We go to school and we learn math, science, English, social studies, history, biology, chemistry, and all those great topics, but no one actually ever teaches us those other things that we definitely will, or those other roles that we'll play in life. And, you know, we often say that marriage takes work. Well, if it takes work, then it is a job. And a job isn't a negative thing because many people like their jobs, right? But how do you do a job no one ever trained you how to do? Just like parenting, the first day on the job, you're supposed to be a parenting expert. So education, because it's something that we just say I do, and then you just kind of wing it and figure it out for yourself. And I educate on different, what the word says about marriage, how to actually love according to how your spouse needs it. And it's more than just the 5 love languages. So first we start to, you know, bring to the forefront things that people may not have known. You thought you did, but you don't know what you don't know until you know. And then communication, because it truly is key. One of my favorite things to help anybody with is to improve communication and conflict management. Once we improve that, it increases the connectivity between the two individuals. And then faith, because we want to operate by faith, not by sight. It may look beyond repair, but all things are possible. And it's really not true until you quit.
Okay. Look, I paused because I was just making sure that was your final thought on, the ways you help people. So if a Christian woman and she's struggling in this area, what is the offering that you have to at least get her started and give her a quick win while she's working through these things that she may be facing in her marriage?
Um, so it all depends on what is currently going on and how severe it is, because some people come to me and they automatically are just like, no, I need your help. And so we'll do a one-on-one program where I work exclusively with that person. We meet every week virtually, and I just gotta give it all to God, because sometimes I'm even in my mind, I'll be honest, I'm like, oh no, I don't, this one's gonna be hard. And lo and behold, they go from separated to inseparable, literally. But if they just want something to, maybe just improve communication or something like that, we can just do that. But anyone at any moment, doesn't matter what kind of relationship, whether it's personal or professional, can always go to my portal and get my Speak to Be Heard mini course, because oftentimes we'll repeat ourselves over and over and over again. It seems like some people just aren't listening and they just don't get it. So if you want people to actually listen to you as opposed to just hearing you, so that's something that they can get just like on the spot at any moment.
And what's the link that they go to get that?
Oh, the link for the Speak to Be Heard, it is
Yes.
bit.ly. So bit.ly/speak to be heard, all lowercase. And then if they want to know what to do before you actually speak, so sometimes we'll open our mouths and we don't think before we speak. So there's a freebie that is before you speak. So it's bit.ly/before letter U speak. And that's just a free video and downloadable PDF to help people think about 4 different things. Slow your roll and think about these 4 things before you actually address your concerns.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Leslie. So us faith Christian wives, if there are some areas in your marriage, and who can't use better communication, or just like Leslie said, how many times have we said, pick up this or do this or stop doing that, and we just feel like we're hitting our head against a brick wall, or I've even had my husband go check his hearing because I really thought he could not hear me with some of my requests, because he was not doing anything I was asking for. So she has, her opportunity for you to work with her in her programs, and then she even got a free just to get you started, and she mentioned that link, so we'll make sure we'll get that link into the comments, into the description for you all, so you can go and check that out. So Leslie, in great old weekly live Q&A fashion, what question can I answer for you tonight?
Well, I would love to know how you are so organized, because that's one thing I do know about you. And if you guys don't know her, y'all, when she has a task, she's going to come up with a plan and a checklist, and she's going to get it done. So I already know your tips about time blocking and tick checklists, whatever, but how do you actually stick to it? How do you stay organized enough to actually stick to those tasks and focus and actually getting it done and not putting it off till later?
So thank you for those compliments. And she's right. I love my plans. I love my checklists. I love my Trello boards. And some ways that you can kind of stick to the things that's priority, some things that I tell my clients all the time, is that you should always be spending the majority of your time until you have a wait list of clients, either working on the current clients you have or working towards getting more clients. So sometimes those tasks are not necessarily your favorite, or so you might try to avoid them, or they're going to take longer than you want to dedicate time for, but those are the things that's going to keep your business going long term. So constantly remember to when you first come into your business, and think about when your energy is the highest, and make sure that you spend it when you have the highest level of energy on the things that may take more time, if that makes sense, right? Brian Tracy says, eat the frog first, or I think that's how he says it, right? But basically means the task that you least like to do, that's the task you should do first. When your energy is high, nothing else is vying for your time, no other appointments or notifications have came into place. So some things that you can do to stay organized and stay focused on the task at hand is definitely plan it out. Have a master things to do list, whether that's paper or in Trello or wherever, where everything you ever come up with that you have to do, you put it into that master checklist. So it's out of your head and it's not consuming your brain when you're working on something that you need to focus on. Number one. Number two, when you getting ready to plan out your week or your day, whether you do that on Sundays or whatever works best for you, look at what is due. Look at what client projects are due. Look at, anything that has some deadlines, and make sure those are on your things to do list for that week. Sometimes my kryptonite is organization. So I have to be mindful that I don't spend time organizing things instead of getting things I need to get done. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. So I think my biggest challenge is, I have the checklist, try to organize. And like you said, don't spend so much time organizing. But then when I sit down, it's like, okay, stay on the task, stay on the task. Because now what happens? You get a text, you get a phone call, you get an email, you even get a thought about, oh yeah, I was supposed to do this. And then now next thing you know, you're, working on that thing instead of the thing that you started on. So that's my issue.
Right.
Plus, I'm ADD, so.
So to that point of, you were doing something and then you had a thought. So keep a pen and paper so you can get the thought out of your head and it's written down so you can go back to it, but it helps you to stay focused on whatever task is hand. Say it's creating content, for the next month. If you get a thought, oh, I got to write that real estate contract, or, oh, I need to follow back up with that client, just write it down. Set your timer, whether you're going to spend 45 minutes and take a 15-minute break, or if you're going to spend 2 25-minute sessions and take 5-minute breaks in between. I like racing against the clock, so the timer really works well for me. But if you're focusing on something that's the priority, just keep reminding yourself, this one thing is the priority. Nothing else matters until this is done, right? And then focus on the other stuff. Because at the end of the day, nothing's on fire like we think it is. Nothing is on fire like we think it is.
Right.
So what's some things that you've tried that haven't worked, and have you gotten some tips tonight that you will try to implement?
Yes. So things I've tried in the past, I think I've shared with you CPR, believe CPR into your checklist, change, pass, reduce. That's what we used to teach the military folks. I used to teach stress management. And one of the time management things was change, pass, reduce. And it stood for CPR, believe CPR into your to-do list. Can you change a criteria or a deadline? Because sometimes we put those on ourselves and it's not necessarily really a standard. It's not a must. And then, or a quick example is a friend of mine who was going to school to get her degree. She didn't need it. She just decided, I just want to get this degree, and which is great. But she was stressed out and all these things were happening. And I said, well, why don't you just stay out a semester or just go part-time one semester, alleviate some stress? I can't, then I won't graduate by whatever this date was that she put on herself was her own date. And so could she change that? Pass, delegation. Can you pass on some responsibility to somebody else? And then reduce. Are your standards way up here when you really only need to do this much? Done is better than perfect, right?
Absolutely.
So those are some things that I've passed. But tonight, I think I'm going to take note of what you said about when I get my ADD thought, write it down, and then stay on the task at hand. So instead of going to do that other thing, I'm just going to write that other thing.
Right. Yes.
Got
and by
it.
writing it, you won't forget it. It's off your brain, so it's not constantly nagging you. You know how when we're trying to remember something, like we're on the way to the grocery store and we like, don't forget the milk, don't forget the milk, don't forget the milk. And then we pass, drive through like we're not focused, right? Because we got that annoying, I not need to forget something. So to your point, yes, if you're working on a task and something comes up, just jot it down. It'll go off, and then you could get right back focused because it's not nagging you anymore, because you have addressed it from the point of it's written down for you to address once the time permits.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stick to that, try that, and that should work.
Yes, I definitely want you to try it and come back and let us know how it works. So do you feel now that you have gotten clear on how to stay focused on task at hand?
Yes.
You feel confident with the tip that you have that you can move forward?
Yes.
And now that you'll be able to focus and get more client work done, do you think you can get more cash into your business so God gets the glory?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So share with us how people can connect with you on social media, or how they can contact you when they are ready to work with you.
Okay, so if anyone is ready to work with the coach for real, that's Real Estate in Love, providing real solutions after you say I do. Well, it just depends. If you are in the 757 area and you're looking for a new home or to sell one, then you can connect with me at Leslie Cristea Sells Homes page on Facebook. If you want to just connect with me, my personal profile is Leslie Cristea, just like my name below. And then everywhere else, Leslie Cristea, LinkedIn, Instagram, even my website, lesliecristea.com. So it's real simple. I'm the only one out there too, so it makes it even easier.
Yes, yes, yes. So make sure you all connect with Miss Leslie Cristea, the coach for real. Yes, make sure you do that. Leslie, thank you so much. It has definitely been an honor to serve you in this way, and have you the opportunity to share all your brilliance with this community. And y'all make sure, if y'all need any assistance in the area of relationships, communication, or real estate, that you reach out to our fellow Parallel-Preneur, Leslie Cristea. And until the next time, be profitable and be blessed. Bye for now.
Bye.